Welcome to the channel. With reference to our series of discussions on 52 plus painting defects, their causes and countermeasures, today we shall be talking about defect number 15, and that is cracking. The table of contents includes definition, photograph, and explanation of cracking, understanding the core nature of cracking. Then we have causes and countermeasures, repair method of cracking, why cracking demands special attention, a small note, and finally recommendation to prevent cracking. And thereafter, introduction to the next topic of painting defects. Here is the illustration of the paint defect cracking. We have three photographs also depicting the effects of cracking on the painted surface. Cracking is a surface defect characterized by the formation of visible fissures or breaks in the top coat layer of paint, varying in length and depth. These cracks typically resemble dried mud or fractured glass and occur due to the loss of paint film elasticity. Cracking is often a progressive failure originating from underlying issues such as improper curing, excessive film buildup, incompatible materials, or pre-existing defects like checking or blistering. Cracks are lines of various lengths and widths in the top finish, resembling the cracking of dried mud. It is usually the result of an earlier fault, such as checking or blistering. The paint effect cracking is one of the most serious and structural failures in automotive coatings. Cracking reflects the loss of elasticity and cohesion of strength in the paint film. It is not just a cosmetic issue. It indicates that the paint system has either aged prematurely or was compromised during application. Cracks allow moisture and environmental contaminants to penetrate, leading to corrosion and further delamination. Regarding causes and countermeasure, the first and foremost important counter cause or probable cause is excessive film buildup. Excessive film thickness of undercoat and or even of top coat. When there is thick film, it thick film layers lose flexibility over time, and therefore they are prone to cracking, especially under temperature stress or vibration. Therefore, we recommend apply coats within specified thickness, following manufacturer's technical data sheet for number of coats and flash times. Use wet film gauge to control paint film buildup. Number two important cause could be refinishing over a damaged substrate. It's also a high priority item. Application over previously cracked, raised, or unstable finishes. Old crack act as stress concentrators, leading to rapid propagation into the new coating. Therefore, we recommend completely strip and remove the cracked substrate before refinishing. Check for stability of existing coatings before proceeding. The third important probable cause could be insufficient flash time, that is, it could be forced drying. It is also a high priority item. Not allowing adequate flash off time between the coats or drying undercoats with compressed air, etc. In that case, solvents become trapped in lower layers, leading to surface tension, cracks during curing or aging. Therefore, it is recommended to follow correct flash times between the coats, avoid forced air drying from spray gun, allow natural evaporation, or use controlled booth airflow. The fourth probable cause could be incorrect mixing ratios or excessive hardener. Using too much hardener or incorrect mixing procedure, it alters chemical reaction, causing brittle film formulation or incomplete cross-linking. Therefore, it is recommended that always mix paint according to TDS, that is technical data sheet. Use digital scales or mixing cups for accuracy. Add components in the correct sequence. The fifth probable cause could be poor material agitation. Paint or hardener are not stirred adequately before use. Here, settled or unmixed components affect the performance and film flexibility. Therefore, thoroughly stir or shake off components, shake all components before mixing and before spraying. Use mechanical agitators where required. Number six probable cause could be environmental exposure. Degradation due to long-term exposure to UV ultraviolet rays, heat, and moisture. UV rays and moistures, of course, accelerate aging, making the paint film brittle and prone to cracking. Therefore, use high quality 2K, that is two component system, with ultraviolet resistant resins. Apply clear coats where required and educate the customers also. Number seven, use of incompatible additives. Use of generic reducers, thinners, or hardeners which are not designed for the system. Remember, chemical mismatch leads to improper curing, shrinkage, or film failure. Therefore, always use system compatible additives specified by the paint manufacturer. Avoid generic substitutes. Eighth probable cause could be substrate movement or flex stress, cracking from vibration or thermal expansion on flexible substrates like plastic or thin sheet metal. Rigid paints on flexible surfaces crack under stress or vibration. Therefore, it is recommended to use flexible primers and top coats designed for plastics or vibration prone parts. Incorporate flex agents in case it is necessary. Ninth probable cause could be extreme temperature curing. That is, baking at temperature above or below the recommended range. Improper curings alter the internal stress distribution, leading to early cracking. Therefore, we recommend to cure the paints at the recommended temperature and time duration. Ensure accurate oven calibration and monitoring. Coming to repair method of cracking defect. To start with, identification and assessment. That is, carefully inspect the painted surface to determine the extent and pattern of cracking. Confirm whether the defect is limited to the top coat or extends into the undercoats or substrate. After this, remove all affected paint layers down to stable and sound substrate. This may require mechanical sanding or chemical paint stripper. Then, thoroughly clean the exposed surface to remove dust, wax, silicone, and residues or any other contaminations. Use a recommended surface cleaner or degreaser. Thereafter, feather edges surrounding areas for smooth blending. Apply suitable primer or surfacer if bare metal or plastic is exposed. For plastics or flexible panels, use flexible primers and adhesion promoters. After that, repainting is done. Apply undercoats and topcoats according to the manufacturer specifications. Ensure proper flash uptime, mixing ratios, and film thickness. Use system-compatible hardeners, reducer, thinner, and any other additive. Bake or air dry under controlled conditions. And finally, after full curing, inspect for defects. If required, sand and polish the area for gloss and a texture match. Now, just a brief note on why cracking demands special attention. Because the damage is irreversible. Unlike surface defects like dust, nips, or minor orange peel, cracking cannot be spot fixed or buffed out. It always requires full stripping and repainting. It usually arises from systematic errors like incorrect layering, mixing, or drying, not just one-off mistakes. It's highly visible. Cracks, especially mud cracks or spider web types, are easily visible to the customers and reflect poorly on the finish quality. Failure in harsh environments, automobiles, motorcycle, scooter, and auto rickshaws often face intense sunlight, rain, and vibrations, accelerating cracking if the system is not perfectly balanced. The recommendations to prevent cracking. Number one, always control film thickness. Measure it and don't guess it. Respect recoat windows and flash times. especially in multi-layer jobs. Use compatible OEM-specified materials only. Avoid mixing brands or generic substitutes. Educate painters about mixing sequence and ratios. Many defect begins in the mixing rooms. Include periodic training or control or climate control curing. Inconsistent booth temperature or humidity contributes to the effect of cracking significantly. Cracking is a warning signal. It is not just a flaw. It appears the entire painting process, materials, equipment, climate, and technician habits should be audited immediately. With this, we conclude our today's discussion on the subject of the painting defects cracking. Please drop your comments and share your experience to further improve the contents of this channel. Your feedback matters. Our next topic would be defect number 16, and that is glazing. Thank you, and thank you very much.